and another video now. So this is the another ChamBOOK interior, I guess, a ChamBOOK illustration, bonus illustration in ChamBOOK Volume 2 for another pre-purchase from Supanova that happened during the weekend. This one is of Asuka from Neon Genesis Evangelion, a series that came out quite a while ago. That was that had a reboot, I suppose, in more recent years. Those reboot movies, which I have yet to see. Now, the reason why I haven't seen those films yet is because there's a few that they've made. Right, there's like 3 or 4 of them right now, something like that, and they're almost about to finish it. Now, I want to wait until all of them are done and then watch it from there, so that way I can watch it as a whole. I know, because instead of like having to wait, because I know people who watched it when they first came out, they watch it, they wait a year or something, they have to watch the next one and wait another year. I don't like that. I was looking forward to it, and I still am, and I will watch it, but obviously when it's all out, that's when I'll watch it. So, but yeah, this is Asuka, but based on her original look from the series rather than the new movies. I gave the option, like I asked the person who'd purchased this book whether they want, which version they'd want, and they asked for the original series version, so I'm all good with that. I like that version. I love this series. This is a great series. The end of Evangelion movie, that was I guess the true ending to the series, was excellent from what I remember. It's been a while since I'd seen them, so I'm not exactly sure whether or not they still hold up, but surely they can't be garbage. So yeah, those are the baselines done. Easy baselines, just a headshot. Brush pen time now, using the Pentel brush pen with the replaceable inks. That whole gray section there on the pen, it's replaceable. You can purchase new ones. Pretty good. When it comes to inking with a brush pen, so, yep. I had to pause the audio then, because I had to take care of something. But now it's back to the audio. So I'm inking the hair using the brush pen. I don't know what I was talking about before. Apologies. I like the brush pen a lot. There's enough control with it still being, I guess, it does what it wants. Like the ink, when it wants to run, it will run. When it wants to have a dry spot, it will also be dry too. It's bizarre like that. But I like using it. Yeah. I should have a few more videos of these, and since people online have purchased some, I'm going to be drawing and recording those. I think I will make some of those time-lapse videos instead. That way I don't have to record this bumbling audio of nothing. Of just audio. Again, you could always mute this. Essentially, I'm just uploading these videos because people seem to enjoy these real-time videos, just to see it, to watch it as it goes, I kind of I suppose I could make them somewhat tutorial-like, but again, because I don't really know what it is I'm doing or why I do particular things at the time, I can't exactly describe why I'm doing a certain thing. It's just choices on the fly. In the end, I just kind of hope for the best. That's really it. I hope for the best whenever I do a piece, and hopefully the end results speak for that. Neon Genesis Evangelion, so good. It's great animation, interesting characters, dope mechas. Asuka was probably one of my favorites. Design-wise, character-wise, she was very interesting. I mean, there was a lot of interesting characters in the series, but I think I liked her the most of all the females. Just the designs in general of this anime were pretty legit though. Like, just very cool, very sleek. The plug suit, all that type of stuff. The mecha, just her mecha in specific, it's so cool. The whole four eyes type stuff. And the mecha's new design, I suppose, or even her suit's new design in the Rebuild films. Very interesting. Like, I'm curious as to why she has an eye patch now. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that, but it looks cool. It looks cool. I know the Metacom Real Action Heroes 12-inch figure looks great of her. And some statues of her look great too. But I'm not a statue person, so none of that. Also, I mean, I'm not really much of a 1/6 scale, which is 12 inches, collector as well, so none of that as well. But her design is great. It's fun drawing in these books. The scale, I'm not really used to drawing just a headshot in the scale of the paper provided, because normally when I do headshot commissions at conventions, they're at A6. I mean, I could draw headshots on A5 and A4 as well, but the larger it gets, the more challenging. I have to basically just like pull back when I'm drawing it, because I like to see the entire thing as I'm working on it, I suppose. So working at a larger scale is always a little more challenging. Drawing smaller is actually like, there's no real perfect size to draw in for me, I suppose. But the size of the books are larger than ChamBOOK Volume 1's. They were originally supposed to be the same size, so I intended to make them the same size, but I had miscalculated, and now they're larger by like 5 centimeters in both width and height. So same amount of pages, there's 100 pages, 100 pieces, I suppose 50 pages back and front. Very thick, fairly thick, I suppose. Gets heavy. I like the spiral bound. I think that's quite nice. I think I'll stick to that whenever I do these ChamBOOKs. Although I should make the next one. If I'm going to make a next one, it's going to be, hopefully it's going to be the same size as this, unless I decide to go back to the original size. I don't know. I'm a fool. I should have double checked, but I got these printed out in somewhat of a rush, so quality is good. Quality is very good, but I really should have paid more attention to it. I'm surprised it just slipped by me. I must have, because it was in like points system. It wasn't like in inches or anything. I had to convert it, and I guess I just miscalculated, which is a shame, but whatever. It's not like it's a completely bad thing, but it still somewhat was a surprise when they arrived, and I was like, oh no, they're larger than they're supposed to be. Oh well. And also, like, I was hoping for a better, I guess, because the first book did quite well. I had sold quite a bit of them at shows, so one would assume that you would do a similar amount for the second round, but didn't come out. But I suppose it's fine. It's just the way it is. I'll always make the copies that I have available for purchase. So the only time they'll sell out is when All 50 of them are gone. Yeah, there's only 50 of them. So if you manage to own one of these, then you're one of the 50 that has them. Pretty good. Pretty good. And obviously you can also request a picture for an extra tenner. Normally headshots are a bit more than that, double that actually, but if it's in the book, it's an extra tenner. I think that works out quite well. Again, if you're interested in purchasing one of these books, you can check my current journal post on DeviantArt, which with the information, or on my Twitter, which is where it's listed also. It's at the Chamba, as you can see from the top left corner. Information's up there. So now I just erased the baseline pencils, and I'm going to dive into it now with some Copic grays, just to add a bit of depth. I like to keep it nice and simple now. Very, very, very simple. Very, I guess you can say my influences have gone more anime-ish with the simplification of the nose and such. The nostril you see, but the shadow of the nose is done using shades. No more lines. Really, very, very minimal use of lines for the nose outline and such. But this one was a fun one to draw. I think I've drawn it maybe no more than 5 times, I would say. Which is, you know, to me that's fairly she's an uncommon character, I suppose, at that point. The next couple videos are also characters that if I remember correctly, that I haven't drawn as often. I know the next one is, the next two, one of them is going to be a character from RandomVeus, which is pretty neat. It's always fun to draw a character from RandomVeus. But the other one is a Dragon Ball character, which whenever I get a Dragon Ball request, love it. Love it, love it. So I'm not sure if the next two will be time-lapse or real time. I think I might just do those ones time-lapse. I think. It's just, it saves me time from having to record this audio, which, as you can tell from these 2 videos that I just posted, are pretty much just me rambling. I don't really have much to say. Rarely do, unless it's something specific, like something that interests me, like One Punch Man or certain comics or action figures or whatever, or wrestling even. Yeah, those I don't really speak much. Anyway, I think the piece is done. Thanks for joining me again. Stamp it. Done. Cheers.